Hey everybody, Uncle Filthy, and welcome to the Kiss Corner at the Media Hub. How did Dressed to Kill do? Not well enough. Kiss and Casablanca were in a fourth and long situation. This is their Hail Mary. The saving grace. The one that kept Kiss and Casablanca going. You wanted the best, you got the best. It's Kiss Alive.
You wanted the best and you got it. The hottest band in the land, Kiss!
If you thought the financial dire straits for Dressed to Kill were pretty bad, it was a lot worse here. At this point, Casablanca's on the verge of bankruptcy. The guys in Kiss are probably risking having to get normal 9-to-5s. That's not the life for a rock and roll star. In one final desperate attempt to save face, they decided to record a live album. Nobody was doing live albums really at the time. There were a few exceptions, but it wasn't something that sold too well. It wasn't the commercially viable option. But Kiss took the shot in the dark. They got Kiss Alive, brought in Eddie Kramer to produce it. How did it work? You guys know. So with this one being a live album, and these are songs that I've already talked about, I'm probably going to take this approach a little bit different. One thing I will say right off the bat is that Kiss Alive is definitely an album that's more about the atmosphere than anything else. You've got the recorded audience noise. You can sort of hear the bombs going off in the background. But you have the songs. You have a little bit of sloppy performances, some of which were allegedly, probably pretty well confirmed at this point, doctored in the studio after the fact. The song selection, I think, is probably the best they could have done. Even if some of these songs aren't really my favorite, looking at the track list and looking at the sort of deeper cuts, I don't think that the deeper cuts that I would have preferred off of the previous three albums would have translated so well into the context of Kiss Alive. But right from the start, this album really starts to kick ass. Right from the point when JR introduces the band, you wanted the best, you got the best. The hottest band in the land, Kiss. And we kick into Deuce. It just grabs you by the balls because you feel like you're in that crowd almost, especially if you're really listening to this with a good sound system. And goes right into Strutter after Deuce is done. And then they knock a couple songs off Hotter Than Hell with Got to Choose, which, since doing the Hotter Than Hell review, there was actually a comment on there that sort of made me reevaluate how I feel about the song. And I think I'm starting to like the song again, and it really sounds much better on Kiss Alive. That's kind of the case with most of these. After that, we get Hotter Than Hell. Hotter Than Hell is a song that I've always liked, always will like. Sounds really great live. Firehouse. Firehouse is a great performance on here. You get Nothing to Lose. I really like the live energy for Nothing to Lose. But the thing that I don't really like is that they don't have the piano. I don't know. Something about having the piano keys just banging in the background really make Nothing to Lose a song that really stands out more to me. But the live energy, that's really what sort of makes this one sort of hard to determine which do I like better, the live or the studio version. The live version of Come On and Love Me, absolutely stellar. The live version of Parasite, that's one of their best songs, period, so there's no bad version of it, at least by Kiss's recordings. The live version of She, this is definitely a standout on here. You've got the Ace Frehley solo attached to the end of it. They take that outro from Let Me Know, tack that at the end of She, and you lead into Ace's guitar solo. It's freaking beautiful. The version of Watching You on here, I feel like it works really well. I can't remember if I left it in the video when I was talking about the song for the Hotter Than Hell album, but here's where the song really feels like it's playing into that whole, it's about the band. You're here watching us. Like, the way it just plays up in the live setting really kicks ass. The version of 100,000 Years that we get on Kiss Alive also definitely supersedes the studio version. It's another example of it's better than the studio version. That's kind of the general consensus with this. The drum solo by Peter Criss and Paul rapping to the audience, that's sort of what really brings that song to the next level. Again, it sort of reinvigorates the atmospherics that this album provides. Black Diamond, I'm kind of a stickler for the studio version of that one, just because of the outro there. The way the notes start slowing down and they're hitting, I forget if it's an E or an A chord, but that doomy outro, it's the one thing that I feel is kind of lacking here. I will say though, the big thing about the live version of Black Diamond on here is I can visualize the stage presence of it. You know, whether it's Peter's drum riser or Ace dropping to his knees right as the song's starting to break down at the end. Yeah, the live version of Black Diamond really does kick ass, and Peter's voice just, he's almost got a menacing sound on Kiss Alive. He definitely sounds a little more happy-go-lucky on the albums, but here on the live album, I don't know if it's the drugs that were fueling him, but you can definitely feel the amped up Peter vibe going on here. Rock Bottom. Absolutely love Rock Bottom. I talked about that in the Dress to Kill video. The live version, you know, I think I prefer the studio version of this one, honestly. Cold Gin. I really like this version. This was the first version of Cold Gin that I did here. Heard it on the Kiss Gold compilation. But yeah, I like Paul's whole rap to the audience about that. And of course, it's one of those things he would do over the years where he's making fun of all the other alcohol, but drinking that Cold Gin, y'all. Yeah, Cold Gin's a lot of fun. Absolutely love it. Let Me Go Rock and Roll. Should have been the show opener, but Deuce, I don't know, man. I've always known Deuce to be sort of a concert opener for these guys. So in that case, if Deuce is in the set list, it's kind of hard to put Let Me Go Rock and Roll before that. But this is definitely the superior version of that song. And the album closes with Rock and Roll All Night, as it should. It's the way to end a live show by these guys. Definitely find this to be one of the more listenable versions of the song. Probably my third favorite version. We'll talk about that later. This one, you got one of the guitar solos, and I think the guitar solo changes just ever so slightly from one guitarist to the next. But yeah, this version of Rock and Roll All Night really does kick ass. Again, I'd call it my third favorite version. It falls somewhere after Smashes, Thrashes, and the Kiss Unplugged version. As far as which one of those is my favorite, maybe you'll have to stick around and find out. So yeah, guys, the big takeaway for Kiss Alive is honestly going to be the atmosphere of the album. You can definitely better feel the energy of what Kiss was providing with their live shows. There's a reason why this album sort of saved them, because it let people take home sort of what the live experience was like. And it probably, I'm going to guess that it gave some people who may not have gone to a Kiss show, weren't too big on the albums, but they gave this one a chance. It probably gave them incentive to go check it out. And this album blew up. It really was the saving grace for Kiss and Casablanca. It went multiple times platinum. I forget exactly how many times. I know, I want to say it went at least double platinum. Any higher than that, I don't want to guess and be totally wrong on that. But this was the one that definitely saved the day for them, and it really is great. And a lot of Kiss fans I know regard this as being the best album, just period, full stop. I don't really agree with that, just because I tend to like the studio albums a little bit more. Just because some of the deep cut songs I tend to prefer toward a lot of the songs that we get on here. The thing is that these ones just all feel like I've heard them all a bunch of times. Tons of variations of them. So I tend to gravitate toward other albums. So with that being said, guys, Kiss Alive is still going to find itself getting 5 get out of jail free cards out of 5. So that was my look at Kiss Alive. The format on this one was again a little bit different. It's kind of hard to re-review a song. But this one was a lot of fun to take a look at. Anyway, I thank you guys for stopping by. Let me know your thoughts on Kiss Alive down below. Do some other stuff with those icons down there. I'll see you guys in the next one.